Oh, yeah, we're live. Hello, welcome. Welcome to this week's training. And it's off to school time in the UK at least. So how are you feeling about it? Are you relieved that the summer is over, or are you already missing lazy mornings? Well, and do let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this transition time from this that big space that is the summer to now a more structured time. I think I'm ready for it quite personally. And my son went off to school for the first time this morning in his suit. Yeah. So actually, talking of mornings, I was talking this morning with a client who wanted some help with her morning routine. And we, in our conversation, we discovered that there was one step that was going to make all the difference to her. And I want to share that with you today, and also why it's such an important step. And if we haven't met before, I'm Una Alexander, and I help committed parents who are really on their knees with their children's behaviour, just exasperated, frustrated, and longing to be the best parent they can be. And I help you radically love your child to happiness and behaviour that's naturally great, so that you can enjoy a calm family life and really create that happy family that you're longing for. So back to mornings. The thing about mornings is that there's this deadline thing, isn't there? There's this, you know, when you need to leave by, and that's kind of looming all the time, and it can cause a sense of pressure and a feeling of being a bit stressed. And then maybe we start nagging the children and kind of be on at them all the time, and then they kind of tune out. Well, we're like that, you know, when we're kind of on them like that, they kind of back off, don't they? And they kind of go into dreamland, or they kind of maybe even switch the TV on or something. And it can be very difficult to connect, and kind of then when there's only 10 minutes to go, then it starts with the come on, and everything gets a bit hectic, and there can be shouting and things like that. And it can feel really difficult to get out of that cycle. So the step I'm going to share with you today is actually not at all glamorous. It's not at all fancy. You might even call it boring, but it is an absolute game changer for morning routines. It really makes all the difference. And it's this. It's about being prepared the night before you go to bed. And what I'm talking about is things like, if you do lunches, having the lunches prepared, if you do ironing, having the ironing done, the uniforms laid out, the breakfast on the table, anything that you need to do, anything that you can do the night before, doing it. Tough as it may sound. But the reason this makes such a difference is not just because, obviously there's less to do, but it's because the effect that has on us. Because when there's less to do, you're able to slow down and be more available. And when you slow down and can be more available to your children, then there's more space for connection, and connecting makes all the difference to your morning. And here are 3 ways that you might be inspired to connect if you had done some of the grunt work the night before. So first of all, you would have time to accompany your child instead of just issuing instructions. I remember a father I was working with had a kind of epiphany over tights, and he would kind of come into his daughter's room and tell her to put on her tights. And so I suggested, why not accompany her with the putting on the tights? It doesn't mean you have to, be there the whole time, but just sit down with her and pick up the tights and say which foot you want to put in first. And you could just see the kind of scales falling from his eyes. It's like, oh yes, if I do it like that, it'll be completely different. And mornings really were very different for that family after that. So number one is accompany. Number two is if someone is resisting or if someone is upset, if you slow down and you're available, you have time to empathize. Because difficult feelings like resistance or upset, they just want to be heard, they just want to be seen, they just want to be understood. So you'll have time to empathize with your child. And when they feel that understanding and empathy, they'll more easily then go on to do what you're asking them to do. And finally, number three, if you're not stressed and feeling more available, you've got time, you might make the odd joke. And if you make the odd joke, that's very connecting with your children. You could do a bit of slapstick, bit of getting it wrong, bit of, depending on the age of your child, bit of funny noises. And that just lightens the mood and can lift the whole morning, really. So having this structure in place, it's like containing. When you get everything ready the night before, you create a kind of container for your family to connect and do the things that they need to do in the morning. And it feels much safer. And then these beautiful little connecting moments can help to kind of animate the time together and make it just feel so much better. And so I hope that is helpful. I'm going to be doing an actual week-long training on these kinds of topics in a few weeks. So look out for that. If you haven't liked my page, do that so that you get to hear about it. And also, if you want some more information on how to have a great morning with your children, make sure you've downloaded my guide, Solve the Struggle with Your Kids, which is on my website, unaalexander.co.uk/solve the struggle, because there you'll get all the tools as well as what I've talked about today. So, lots of love to you. Bye.